In the English language teaching, paper number 2, this year, last year you have studied about methods, approaches, importance of English. We have the metaphors like Saraswati to Satan, and various ways in India, English language has played a vital role. So possession of English language, how people acquire it as second language, foreign language, and various approaches and methods of teaching English language as second language. That all you have seen in first semester. Now, in this semester, as we discussed earlier also about the syllabus, that you are going to look at testing and evaluation of language, testing and evaluation, how it can be done. You also will deal with teaching language through literature, also is the topic that you will see. And you also will see technology and English language teaching, that how technology can help as any method, any approach, whatever way we look at technology as a medium in between, but how we acquire those things, that is the thing. So when we deal with ELT, English language teaching, the basic concept that we have to keep in mind is that language as we see, as we perceive, is divided in these components like LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So when we think of teaching or learning language, any language, we think in terms of whether what are listening skills, what are speaking skills, what are reading skills, what are writing skills. And these are both. Then we can go for the cognitive ability of the people, understanding, and lots of other things are also necessary for understanding a language. Only the words, if I can listen properly, it doesn't mean that I understand the language or not. But basically it is all about listening skills, our speaking skills, our reading skills, and writing skills. There. Uh, Two are the inputs and two are the outputs. Yeah? Two are the inputs. So when I read, there is an input that goes there. And when I listen, there is another input of the language. And when I speak or when I write, there is an output of a language. Yeah? That's how we see the thing. And they go together also. If I want to be a very good writer, I should be a very good reader also. If I'm not a reader, I can't be a writer. So they are connected as skills. And the same way is about listening and speaking. If I don't listen, I can't speak. So only those speakers are very good who has listened that language properly, in proper way. Then they become a better speaker also. So these are going together. So if you want to become a good speaker, you have to ask yourself, are you listening that language or not? Are you listening that language or not? If you're not listening that language, you won't be able to become a good speaker. Then if you want to be a good writer, are you reading or not? Are you reading a lot or not? Then if you read a lot, you will be able to be a good writer. They always go in combination. Now, when we look at here, the ELT paper, we would suggest you that if you want to take some small projects, which you can do within 15 days to 1 month, 15 days to 30 days, or within 45 days, at the most 45 days, in which if you want to do several projects. So some ideas we can give you here, that this project, that project, you can take under English language teaching, and you can try to work out something. But always remember this, LSRW, grammar, vocabulary, those are the basic things that you are concentrating when you deal with any of the ELT projects. And all your conclusions or your writings or your observations should be around this language skills. Language should be at the center. Language, English language here should be at the center when you look at these aspects there. So you can take a project, like one project I can share is like making video resources, to teach grammar, vocabulary, or any language component, listening, speaking, anything. So if you can think of that, if you want to teach a particular topic, and then if you want to prepare a video resource on that, how can you do it? What is necessary? Now, most of you are very good in making videos. Many of you have already prepared very good videos for Teachers Day, and you were teaching also. So using tools is not a problem with you now. Like how to face camera, that skill you are aware about, you are able to do also. How to speak with camera also you are able to do, facing camera, speaking, talking with camera. Working on some editing tools also, you are now aware, many of you are able to do that with mobile phones or laptops. So those skills which were very challenging few years back, now those skills are very easy for you. You are able to do it or manage everything in a much proper way than people were able to do earlier. Now you also have a better quality cameras in your mobile phones also. So even the quality of your work can also improve there. When we are in an advantageous position, so far as the tools are concerned, these tools of technology are concerned, today we are in much advantageous position, and now making video resources is not a difficult task. So now we have to concentrate on that content, that when we think of teaching language, so what component of language I want to teach, how can I teach, what can be the method of doing that, what should be my storyboarding, I have to do storyboarding, that this and what are important components that we have to see. Let me share one example. Let me share an example here with you, and then I would like to discuss that with the help of the example. Okay. Let me open the website from where, and I will share a link also, so you can see the things here. Okay. Okay, this website, let me share the link also, so you can in the chat I am sharing the link also, so you can bookmark the link for later viewing, later for the later references, you can bookmark this link. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this now this is one example which was very interestingly worked out by some students here, and they prepared a small video, but that can be used as a model. You can make a better video than this, but apart from that, what is important is lot many other things in making a video. That is what we want to see here. Okay? So this is the video. Let us see the video here. Okay? Learning through video resources, and the topic that they were teaching here was phrasal verbs and questions. Phrasal verbs and questions that they were working on. Phrasal. So you pick up the concept. This which component of language you want to deal with, that you have to pick up. Which component of language, and that is very important. And then also this writing script is very important. Script also is very important. So you have to, before you start a camera on, you have to write down all the dialogues. You have to write down all the dialogues, and then you have to do rehearsal, couple of rehearsals, and then the camera comes in. Then so camera comes quite at the end. Lots of, so you decide a topic, that this topic I want to teach. Then you will say in which way you will talk. You make a drama out of it. So you make dialogues where people are performing, and you are dramatizing the event through which you want to teach a language. It is not like one teacher standing and teaching things with the help of glassboard or blackboard, not in that way, but in a dramatic version. So you have to write script, you have to write dialogues of that, and then you can ask people to perform, and then you can do that. So scripting was a very important part. Subtitles are necessary to work out in this way, so that also will be very important. So because you have to give subtitles at the bottom. Now there is auto caption mode is there, so if it works well, then there is no need of subtitles, because now we have on YouTube, for example, or in Meet, we have the option of caption, so that can be utilized. So when you prepare a video, the initial part of the video will show this, that what you want to do. What is this video about? That we see there. What is this video about? So that is a very important slide. So in the beginning you show this. In this video you will learn the usage of following phrasal verbs and expressions which are generally used by people, like break the ice, to have a word with someone, looking forward, wish you all the luck. Yeah, that's so kind of you. Yeah? So that all you will see that. Yeah? So that is the slide that you prepare in the beginning. And then how to ask questions. So the question word, which normally people have a problem of using it properly, the verb and the subject normally gets interchanged when the Indians speak the question. So the interrogative form of the question is very difficult for us to work out. So have you, why have you selected Plato as your assignment topic, or what will you do after completing your graduation? Some questions will come in the dialogues. And so you are putting it here also, and then you will make a point of that. So which of the following is the correct way of asking a question? This is your final year, or is this your final year? See, the normal Indian way is like, this is your final year, and then we have a question. There is a tone of question. The sentence structure is not interrogative. Our sentence structures are not interrogative, but our tone is interrogative. So when you read, you do not find it. You think that this is a statement. This is an assertive statement. It is not interrogative statement. We find this is your final year. No, but somebody is asking. So then you have to say, is this that? And this was like an error that was there in the while the performance was happening. So it was afterthought. This was an afterthought that it was added, because when the script was ready, but then naturally the performer spoke the question in this way. So then this slide was prepared afterwards. The shooting was done. That, well, let us add this also. But the error was natural error. The error that happened was not a deliberate and scripted error. It was a natural error. Common mistakes that we make in language. There are common errors, common mistake that was it was there.
Sir, we are not able to listen the audio of the video.
Audio you are not getting?
Yes, sir, we are not getting the audio.
All of you have a problem, the same? Yeah, you will not be able to get the audio. Yeah, okay, just a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to listen here, but you will not be able to. Just a minute. Let me share the screen here. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Now I think you will be able to get it. Are you able to see the screen I am sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Now,
This video is meant for the intermediate learners of English. In this video, you will find some important phrases that you can use in day-to-day conversation. Please focus on the body language of the speakers and language, of course. You can watch more videos on www.pbl.dilipbar.com. Please give your valuable feedback after watching this video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Hi Siddharth, how are you?
I'm fine, man. Where were you yesterday?
I was preparing for my assignments yesterday. I've completed mine. Have you completed yours? What about you?
Tomorrow is the deadline, I guess, and I'm about to complete the last one. Hey, man. Who is he? Do you know him?
Yesterday I heard that a new professor of philosophy has been appointed. And you have philosophy as your second subsidiary subject. Then what are you waiting for, pal? Just go and approach him.
But how can I talk to him, man? I don't know him yet. How can I break the ice?
Please don't hesitate to talk to him. Just have a word with him.
Sure. May I come in, sir?
Please come in. Please have a seat.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Hello, sir. I'm Sid.
Okay, so you will see here, this is how this was prepared, this video here. And just a minute, let me. Yeah, okay. So you can see the cuts also. You can see the cuts that one by one person, when this close-up comes, this is a different way that you shoot it. There is a camera there is no person sitting there. And then the another one, then the another person is talking with camera. So when you do the shooting, it is people are talking more with camera than with the people. So that all cut and then they are edited. They all things are edited. You can think of a sequence going all together and without cut and edits if you don't want to waste time in editing. Other than in the different way also you can do that. But this is one video. Later on you can watch. Later on you can watch this video on this website, and you can see that. And then see what was done. In this video, here you will find that entire transcript is given. On this website, you will find here that the entire transcript is mentioned here. So the transcript, which is now, if people don't want to watch a video, then there is a transcription which is highlighted with green, yellow, blue color. Several highlights are given here. So that also can be seen, that the transcript along with video transcript you are putting at a place, and then some questions based on that. The questions based on watching the video are also given here in a Google form. It is prepared in this. So if you see this page, this web page, if you see here, then it is a kind of a small package, a package where the video resource is given, where it is also talking what is the objective of teaching. The objective is to teach phrasal verbs and how to ask question in a correct way. That is the objective. And then that video is given here. The transcript of the video is given here, and some questions and answer based on this video are also given here. So that makes for a full package. This makes for a full package of preparing a video resource or a multimedia resource or multimedia material. Multimedia material for language learning or teaching. When you think of, then this is what it can be done. So this is one idea, which if you want to pick up and prepare small videos about 4 to 5 minutes, don't go for long videos, small videos of 4 to 5 minutes, and smaller topics of any grammar lesson that you want to teach. Prepare that, script it, write it down, prepare a script, do some kind of shooting, and then prepare the transcript, and then question and answer online form. That way you can prepare and you can upload it on your Google site or on blog. You can put a package and then you can submit. And final day you can make a submission. When everything is ready, we will ask you to make your submission and your presentation about what you have done. So there are lots of topics, subtopics in grammar, in vocabulary, in all the skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing. So you can think of, you can apply the approaches and methods that you have studied in previous year from Rogers and Richards' book, and then you can try out all these things there. So that is one idea. This is one idea which you can think of working if you want to see as a part of a project here. Any questions here? Here, if you have any questions or doubts, then you can ask that. Any other thing that you would like to ask here? If there is anything in your mind which you would like to ask, then you can ask the question here. Is it clear? Otherwise, this what you are supposed to do if you want to work on this? Okay, any questions? Anybody?
Sir, if we want to work on this particular project, then and if we select a topic, a particular topic from grammar, then the length of the video, no, the number of the videos, yes. So how many videos will be required will depend on the topic of the grammar. So is it necessary to submit this many videos, or we can take it voluntarily by ourselves?
Minimum one. If you can make more, then it is okay. Otherwise, only one also you can work out, because this is like a learning to prepare a material for language teaching, multimedia material, how it can be prepared. So even if you prepare one, it is good. If you are able to prepare more, no problem about it. Minimum one you can take it as a part of the project.
Okay, so sir, as you said that this is a project of 15 to 30 days. So still I am not able to understand that one video preparing this transcripts and all will require will be completed within a week. So how can we extend it to 15 to 30 days?
No, it is maximum time. 15-30 days is maximum time. Within maximum that you can work out. If you can complete within a week, then you can be ready after a week also. But maximum, because your term will come to an end by then. Because after 45 days, you will be worried about your assignments and presentations. So that's why that deadline is given, that after 45 days, you will have the pressure of your assignments and presentations. So then this project will become a burden. So maximum is that within a week or 15 days, it is very good. You can work it out and complete it within a week also. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions in this? If anybody has other things to say. Yes.
Yes, sir. I do have a question. Like we are doing this for language teaching. So
yes,
can we do it with? Can we do it for web tools also? Can we prepare a video for web tools also?
Yes. Yes. We will come to that also. Yeah. You can prepare for that also, but again, language should be at the center. Yeah, language.
Yes.
You are dealing with this for language. You are not dealing it for web tools. You are not dealing for web tools, but you are doing it for the language. So you have to see that which web tools for which language. That also will be the topic that we will see. But so here it is. There are lots of web tools. No, that is Google Form is a web tool. Google Site is there. Video itself is also, YouTube also is web tool. So lots of web tools are used in this also. So that is, but you have to teach language. You don't have to teach web tools. What you have to teach is language.
But what was I was thinking to combine both the things, like web tools and language.
Yeah. But you say that you want to teach you how to use web tools.
Yeah.
But
then I got the
Then
I got the idea that we can combine both the things, like both things will happen. So that's
why simultaneously it will happen. But our concentration should be LSRW, grammar, vocabulary, any language component. It is not about web tools. So we don't want to teach or using web tools. We want to teach language, and that is very important. That concentration is, or that approach to look at the thing is very, very important. Yeah, because that's why normally people think that, well, we are learning technology. No, we are not learning technology. We are learning language. Yes, learning language. That is very important rather than the other
Yes.
things there. Okay? And so
Yes.
that is also because this why this clarity is necessary, because many times when students study in our department, they also talk a lot about technology on, because we don't directly teach technology. Who is teaching technology? It is students teaching to students. Teachers are teaching literature. By and large, we teach literature, and you do things with technology. We don't teach, but you give an impression that we are learning only technology here. We are not learning literature here. So that is the confusion that remains in the mind, that no, the core is literature. Core is literature, and this is the mode only. This is the medium only. This is the mode through which you are doing the thing. And by and large, we do a workshop where students are teaching to students, and that what and how to use the technology. Otherwise, we don't waste any time in teaching technology. Teaching technology, we don't waste any time. We allow students to do that, peer learning, and that our main concentration is to teach literature normally there. But still, people get an impression about tools more than about literature. That is what people normally see. That's why that you have to be very careful. That ELT paper is about language, not about technology. It is about language. Primarily, it is about language. And that question should always come in the mind, that which language, what language, how, what approaches, what methods, what are the differences, how it becomes easier than the traditional mode, why this is more effective than the another one. This all questions should always remain in our mind. That why in this way, why not the another way? If you do it in another, then what's the problem? How? And then you say, well, no, this technology is helping here, because without this, if you do the work, it will not be as effective as it is happening here. So it is helping you. Technology is just helping you as a teacher in something that you are teaching or doing. You have lots of, for example, administration of academic work also. You have to you have to manage the academic work also. So technology is there to help teachers in managing in the admin of the work produced by the students. In that way, it is helping. So it is a tool. It is not something very important. The other work are more important. So your blogs are not important. Your thinking activity is more important. Your blog. So you should not be proud about, I have a blog. You should be proud to say, I have done thinking activity. When you write or tell people, you have to say that I have done this thinking activity. That is very important, rather than telling that I have a blog, I have a digital portfolio. Well, it is just a space. You can say I have a cupboard. I have a new golden cupboard. I have a digital cupboard where I put my files. Well, people say, well, cupboard is fine. You have more money, so you have a golden cupboard. I have less money, so I have a wooden cupboard. But what is in cupboard? What is in the cupboard? That is, and so we should become more aware about that core content rather than only the clever. That's why when you think of this, you can utilize various tools, but you always have to ask that which web tool for which language part. Listening, what web tool? Speaking, what? So that also will come to see. As you have asked this question, we can see this also here. For example, let me show you this image. Okay. Which also we worked a few years back, and then we have discussed this in the class. And this was a kind of an outcome about using web tools, various web tools for various language skills. Okay? So that, let us see how you can use that also. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this image, let us see this here. Okay, so you can see this image here. Okay, so this also was the work that was done by students, and then we were doing analysis, and this was the board work of the analysis. Students were given the task that use various web tools for a week or 15 days you can work, and you have to teach some language, either listening skill or speaking skills or writing or reading, whatever you want to teach. And then you try to identify that which web tool can be very useful, effective for which skill. Do it, do that work. That was a very important, that you have to do that work also in this. And when you do that work, then you have to see, when you do that work, at that time you have to see that what happens really. So for example, very popular was WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a web tool, because in WhatsApp you can do all four. You can have listening, you can have speaking, you can have reading, you can writing. All skills can be tested, but you make a one group. You identify 5-10 people. Either you can select from school or from your class only. You can tell 10 people that I'm doing experiment, and you help me in doing this experiment. I will put some task, you do the task, and I will do the analysis. So only on WhatsApp also you can work, and you can give some audio recordings, and then you ask people to listen and write, so you see their listening skills, whether they are able to listen everything properly or not, and they write. Or you want to do speaking, so you give an image and tell that speak 1 minute on this image. So 60 seconds, 50 seconds, whatever idea comes in your mind about this image, record the sound and submit in WhatsApp. And then you read those voices and try to do analysis about the speaking skills. You are not, see, again, when people are given these images that read image, then we start looking that, well, you are wrong in this image, that the person is in the mall and you said he is in a Kirana store. Well, no problem. Whether Kirana store or mall, that is not problem. You don't have to see content right and wrong. You have to only see language. You have to only see language only. So whether even if the person is making a mistake in identifying the gender of the people in the image, then also that is not a problem, unless that the person is not making an error of picking he or she, making an error for using right pronouns. Then it is a problem. Right pronoun, if it is used in a wrong way, then that is a mistake. Otherwise it is not a mistake. So content is not an issue. What you have to check is only language. Only language. Even if the person is speaking all lies about that image, no problem. Is he speaking correctly or not? Then your language, you can say, well, your language proficiency is good. Your content is wrong, but no problem. Your language proficiency is very good. So when you are looking at language, then language is more important than the content, than even the content that is given there. So that way you can check it out, this listening, speaking. So you can have, I'm giving just an idea, that you can have a small WhatsApp group, and then you identify the people, and then you give them various tasks, alternate day, and then you work out for 1 week, and then you collect the data and you work on the data. You work on that data, you process and identify, prepare some charts, and then you present that this is how it helped. And then you ask for the feedback to your participants, that were you happy? What have you learned? How was the experience? If instead of WhatsApp, if we meet physically and we do, then what are the advantages, disadvantages? Both the things. Physically, if you meet and in this way, then what are the benefits, advantages or disadvantages? That also we can see there. Well, people will say that, well, physical is always good, but meeting physical is a problem. Meeting physical is a problem. People, for example, are working. If they are working, they can't come every day to learn, and you want to teach. So you are preparing a virtual platform where people who cannot come physically at one place, they can also learn virtually. They also can learn virtually. So that is, so there is a gap, and that gap you are filling. If everybody can come physically and do that, it is the best. There is no doubt about it. But in case if that is not possible for everybody, it is not possible for everybody, right? Somebody from a small village in Saurashtra wants to study from the professor of Yale University, but it's not possible to go there. But you can go to the YouTube channel of Yale University, or you can join MOOC, and you can learn from those universities. That is, what is that gap, that space? That is very important to identify the gap or a space which is necessarily required to study also. So in that, in tools also you can see that. So in all these things, we had various things, like there were blogs, there were this blog also. People have identified that you can do it for language component. Then our question was, what activity you have done, activities by the learners, and what are your findings? The last column was about findings. What are your findings? So in WhatsApp, listening skill, reading skill, daffodils was given as a poem to study. speaking skills were there, then errors in pronunciation, stress, punctuation, tone, artificial speaking also people were, well, because when you try to take a test, people try to speak artificially as if try to give a better tone. They don't remain natural. So that also can be identified as your findings here. Okay? So this is PowerPoint also is also used. There is PowerPoint used as a tool, web tool, blog also, and WhatsApp. Three we found in this discussion. And you can think of something else or something better things also, because now lot many interesting web tools are available. Lot many interesting web tools. So you can explore the new web tools, and you can see how a collaborative work can be done. Select lesser student, around 10 or less than 10, so you can manage everybody. You can give task and you can listen their work. You can read their work. Otherwise, that will be probably, if you have a large class, you won't be able to give feedback very quickly. So lesser 10 is enough, I would say. So 10 is an ideal group for working out in a small project. So you can work out, you can do analysis in a proper way also. So that is a good idea that you can try various web tools for teaching language, but which component of language, listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, what you want to do, that is very important. You have to identify, and then you go for the selection of web tool. When you take a project, you can say that, well, you wanted to do this, and then you have done literature review of 10 web tools. And out of this 10 web tools, I found that this tool is good for this, this is for good for this, that you can write. And then you can say, I tried one tool, one web tool I tried, and I tried to deal with speaking skills. And this is what I have done. This was my method. This was the task I have given. I have given video resource. I have given the audio resource, and they were supposed to do all this activity. They have submitted in this way. I have done analysis in this way, and these are my findings. And these are the findings that I have learned. And I can say that, well, students require to learn this part of language in a proper way. That is necessary to be learned by the students, whatever you can find that how it is happening in the process there. Okay? So that is how you can utilize web tools, various web tools here. Any questions? Any questions here? Anybody? On the second one, this is the second activity which you can take as a project, and then you can do that this work. Yes, anybody, any question here? Any doubt or anything that you would like to add to this? If the point is clear, then you can say, well, you have understood it very clearly what you are supposed to do.
Yes, sir, understood. And
Okay.
if while doing work having some query, then I will ask you.
Yes, okay. So well, fine. You can when you carry out the thing, and if you find a problem, you can consult. But the steps you just keep in mind. The steps that first you will do the review of web tools, and then you will always keep in mind the language components, and you will say that, well, this tool for this. That all you have to note down and write, and then you narrow down to 1 or 2 tools, and then you do activity, and then you do analysis of that, and then you can say that, well, this is how it is helping, not helping. These are the problems with learners. This was the problem with teacher also. As a teacher, when you are working, you may find some limitations also on working the thing, that all you can identify, and you can write a small write-up of 2-3 pages based on your work that you have done. One thing you can do is that before you start working with a group, you can also take a pre-test of something which you are going to teach, which you think that after your teaching on the platform, on the web tools, the students are going to learn it. So first take a pre-test, and you see that, and then you have to compare with the post-test. Pre-test and post-test, that you have to compare, and you have to see that what kind of improvement is coming into that. So that also can be an idea that you can utilize. After identifying the group, you take a pre-test, and then you teach them through this mode, and then you try to take a post-test and try to compare that what is the level of improvement in this. Okay, any other questions here in this second point? Okay, so then the other things that you can do is a survey based. Third option here is about taking some surveys, and the surveys can be for last couple of years, some students are always taking the survey, making surveys of reading habit of the people. So what kind of things people are reading, how are they reading the things, what are their reading habits. So those things are very important to identify. You can work in group also. When you take a survey project, you can work in group, and you can identify that, well, 3 of you are working or 5 of you are working. Then you can say that, well, I will ask these questions to 10 people in my locality, my surrounding, my neighborhood. 10 families I will take. In one family, if there are 3 to 4 people, then you get 30 to 40 people from 10 homes. And if you have 4 people, then you can easily get around 100, 200, 250 kinds of sample size. And that is a good sample size that you can collect. So that way you don't have a much burden of roaming here and there, but just neighborhood, 10 homes in the neighborhood, 4 or 5 people work together and they prepare a questionnaire and then they do that. So that can be done, where you can ask what they are reading. They might be reading newspaper. What are they reading in newspaper? Magazines, which kind of magazines they are reading? Are they purchasing any books or not? Do they have any budget for purchasing books or not? Do they have budget? Like they think that, well, this month we will purchase books of 1,000, 2,000 rupees, or any kind of pocket money is given for purchasing books to anybody in the home. Well, obviously we'll find that no. Obviously you may say that, well, there is nothing like that, that pocket money is given for book purchase, or like every month people purchasing book is not an idea. But that is what we can see. And if it is there, it is wonderful. If that is there, then it is very good also that people do have a plan that every month we should purchase some books, even if we read it or not read it. Even if we read it or not, we should keep on purchasing some books there. And that is the concept of unlibrary, where the books are necessary. But it is not necessary to read only. The books are not only there for read, but books should be there before our eyes to remind us that we don't know so many things. We don't know so many things. So the books are there to remind us that don't be egoist, that you know everything. That there is something in the book, you have not read the book, so you don't know what is in the book. So that is what is the concept of unlibrary, that being surrounded by the books gives us makes us humble, that there is lots of knowledge still to be acquired, to be kept, and you always carry books with you, not to read, but to give you a reminder that you have to read. You still don't know so many things which are there in the book. So that is the purpose of having keep on purchasing the books, but not reading the books. Whenever we get a time, we read, but we know that all these books can never be read. The life is going to end much before we can complete reading the books. That also we know. Then also you keep on. Many times we find that people in the homes do not like books. People, whenever the Diwali comes, they try to give everything to Pasti. They say that, we'll give it to Pasti. Why you keep all these old books? So that also is a kind of a culture, that all old books are to be given. As soon as the year ends, all the school books, all the fair books, all the rough notes, all are given to Pasti. And people don't keep textbooks, give to somebody, but people don't keep those books. And those books are very valuable. Even the school books are very valuable. But it is very tough because people find it a kind of kabadi khana. The books are kabadi khana. And so we have a culture where books are not valued. We live in a culture where these books are not valued. Now, in your family, if your parents they are preserving your books, you are in a good family. You are in a very good family if your parents have preserved your book. You yourself would be loving to go back to see that what were your handwriting in standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, what were you were writing, what were your drawings. Everybody might have done some kind of painting in their schools, but where are those sheets? Perhaps we don't have. So that is very interesting. Thing, but very tough also to do, because every year Diwali comes, and the Diwali is somewhere where we burn, we throw all kabaddi kind of things. But when we consider the knowledge systems as also kabaddi, then we always question that on one hand we have Saraswati Puja and kind of a thing, on the other hand we don't have real respect for learning or knowledge systems also. So that is what we want to know. We want to realize by doing the surveys that, well, this is the fact, This is the truth about our reading or our approach to knowledge systems. And by that way, we become alert also. Once you come to know about all this thing, when you also will become parents, you will deal with your parents' books, notebooks in a different way. You perhaps will think that, well, let me keep it. And someday after when the kids will be grown up, then you can show those books. Then you can say that, well, these are your books. We can have a digital repository also of all those things, and that can be given. And you can say that this thing can become the most valuable gifts for anybody. The most valuable gift. The childhood preserved in a more better way. The school days, the childhood, the work, everything preserved in a much better way. And it can be gifted to people also. But that is very tough. These are not very easy tasks that can be done. But today we have digital tools where all these things are possible to be done. But if these things are happening anywhere, it is wonderful to see that how people preserve the knowledge or our learning processes, how they are preserved in different ways. We try to do that experiment here, that when we students enroll, we ask them to write something on a piece of paper, and then after 2 years we will give it back to you. After 2 years we will give it back to you, so you can see that what you have written on the first day when you came to department, and then how you think of those things. So that at a small level we try to do, and that also is very tough. To keep all these things for longer time is not an easy task. But it has its own value also. And now see, digital way, we have 10 years record, 10 years. So people who passed in 2010 or 12, 11 and 12, now their work also is there with us. Their assignments are there, their presentations are there, their videos are there. So imagine 10 years back, where were you? Before 10 years, where were you? You might be in primary school. You might be in primary school. So then also we were doing the same thing. So it means that in primary school also it is possible. If it is possible somewhere in Bhavnagar to do that in 2010 and 11, then it is possible in school also. So then in your school, your teachers also might have done this and preserved your things and put it on a digital repository. If you were not able to make your own sites, teacher might have prepared his own website, is on YouTube, and uploaded your things on teacher's website also. That was possible. 10 years back it was possible. We were doing that. Actually, we can show that it is possible, and it is not possible only in America or in England. It is possible in Bhavnagar. It is possible in India. It is possible in a coastal town like Bhavnagar also. So now that is how it helps to make your voice full of confidence, and you can tell in a better way because you have something to show. If you don't have, then you can't say with confidence, or you can't make your point in a more valid way that people would be convinced into that. So that's how you are working on digital portfolios, and that work becomes very significant to see in various capacities there. So that is the other task, that when you do reading surveys or different things, many things are possible to be asked to people, that what they do, what is their budget, what they instead of reading, if they watch, what are they watching, because watching and reading is equal. We don't say that, well, reading is good and watching is not. It is almost equal. In past it was reading, today it is watching. So when we say reading habit or survey of reading habit, we can say it is a survey of watching habit also. It is a survey of watching habits also. So it is almost equal. So if I watch a web series or a film, it is almost like reading a novel or a play. It is both novel as well as play. There is a narrative and there is a performance also. So either way, I can do that also, what they read. What now, there you will find a budget also. That do they subscribe Netflix, or they ask people that give me your password. So how people access, or they wait for the free thing to come, and then they will use the things. This time Netflix has done 2 days free, but then your exams were very near. So you were not able to enjoy those free usage of Netflix. But people might have done, some people around you might have used that, and how or what. So that also can be surveyed, what money they pay for watching, for reading, purchasing newspapers, magazine, everything. So that way, if anybody wants to do a small survey, then you can do, and you have to do write-up analysis and the write-up. But your questions matter a lot. Here, very important thing is your questionnaire. Your questionnaire should have lot many interesting questions that people are interested to give, and you get something very significant also from your questions. Okay. So, okay, so that is about survey of reading habit or watching habit, television, web series, cinema, and books that you can ask that how much time and money people are ready to give for that. That can be done. Another survey, if you want to do, it can be about the status of English language in the schools. Now, this time I think it will be very difficult, because I don't think in coming 1 or 2 months people may allow you to go to some schools and find the things. If some schools people are known to you, some teachers or management known to you, and if they allow you to access online their classroom, or you can attend the online classes of some of the language interaction going on, then you can attend and you can prepare something if you are allowed to do that. So if you have somebody in your family who are teachers and who are teaching, your relatives, your neighbors, if they are teachers and they are teaching, and if you can observe, so then this is also a very good time to see that how people are doing online teaching, online, not learning, teaching. So you are looking at the thing as a teacher. So you are not supposed to look at only as a learner, because now this also will be very tough for you, because you still see yourself as a student only, and it will be very difficult for you to see yourself as a teacher. So whenever you will try to read teachers, then also you will try to read teachers as students only. So that's why I have to keep on putting a hammer that think as a teacher. Think as a teacher. Don't think as a student. So as a teacher, what you have to do, that is very important here. So when you observe the people as a teacher, not as a learner, then what thing they are doing. If they allow you to take photographs, you can take photographs, but you have to take permission from everybody, because if you put it on social media or blog, then you have to take permissions of other people that what they are doing, are they ready. If they give written permission, it is very good. Written permission. If they don't give, don't put it. Then don't put the things on the platform. And if the teacher is giving you the permission, then put a photograph of teacher only, not the photograph of students, even if they are visible on computer screen or mobile screen. You have to blacken or make it hazy, make it dull, so that the pictures are not visible. Children's below 15 years, their photographs should not be shared on social media platforms without their permissions, without the parents' permission, or the students. Students are not adult enough to give the permission, but parents' permission is required when the kids are there. So that you have to keep in mind. There are different laws for children, that what you can share, what you cannot share, and nothing without the permission of the parents should be shared about any of the children there. And that is for below 18 years. So don't consider yourself also in the same group. You are not below 18 years. So for the adult, the things are different. For the people who are not adult, the things are different. So online teaching, and you can do a survey if it is possible to explore some of the teachers around you. You can try to consult your own schools, back again to your schools, and you can ask your teacher that what you all are doing, how are you teaching? I want to prepare some write-up. I will not name anybody. No name of school will be given, no name of teachers will be given. We'll just write in a general way that what people are doing. So if you allow, then I would like to make a study or a survey of the teaching methods. Everybody is now doing online. Earlier we were asking that how many of them are using technology in teaching. And hardly 10-20% were using technology. Hardly 10 or 20% were using technology. Now 100% teachers are using technology. Suddenly the corona effect is that from 20 it has gone to 100%. So today 100% teachers are using technology. So there is no doubt that people are not using technology. Now the question is how. Live, offline, pre-recorded. So these are some of the things that people are doing. Lots of them people are using WhatsApp. I told many teachers that why don't you use Google Classroom? Google Classroom is more safe, more secure, but still people don't use Google Classroom or such learning management system. They use WhatsApp a lot. WhatsApp is used a lot. Telegram is used a lot. So your survey can give us any other result also, that well, here people are doing this, there the people are doing that. In government schools, most of the people are using Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams. Most of the school teachers in government are doing that because that is given free for 1 year to all the teachers. So that also is a very good platform where you can see the problems faced and many other things you can think of. What problems they face, how they learn, what are the benefits. That all can also be surveyed. So if you have teachers around you, in your family members, then you can do that. Or you can go back to your schools, and if possible, if your teachers or management allow you to do that, you can ask the request that you are an alumni and we want to do this. If you allow, then I would like to take this as a small project for our work. So try to, at least try to contact your schools. Let them tell no. Let them tell no. That experience also is worth taking, because we have seen in last years that when students go to the schools, they don't allow them to do. They don't allow them to observe the classrooms also. They don't allow. They say, we'll sit in the last bench and we'll just observe. But they say then no. They don't, unless you have some of your relatives as a management of the school. Some of your relatives, then they will allow you. Otherwise, people don't give permission. And we are surprised that why people don't give that. Well, if somebody comes here and they wants to do the analysis, we allow them that you can sit in the class. Anybody can sit in the class. In our class, like we say, well, you can make your observations. Well, you can ask us if you have any negative remarks to be made. You can tell that I'm going to put this. Are you agreeing with that or not? So you can have our point of view also. As a teachers, you can take point of view, but you can put those things there. People obviously will make various kinds of comments, and it is free. It is a part of every life that we live. That you can't tell people that you can't speak anything bad about us. People obviously will have their own way of dealing, and well, it is welcome. Everything is welcome in this era, open era, digital era. But people don't do that. And we used to tell our students that you experience that people don't allow those things. When you become teachers, will you allow people or not? And you have to remain open. You have to allow people. Well, fine, you can come in my class. You can observe. I don't have any problem. Your observations should be shared with me so that you are not making false statements. You are not making false statements. Let's give me one opportunity to defend myself if there are any negative comments. That you should do. That you should ask me. If there are favorable comments, you can publish without asking. But if there are negative, then you should consult the person and say that, well, these are my observations. Do you have anything to say about this? That is a human courtesy. This is a human courtesy that can be done. But people allowing other people. So when you will be a part of this, when you become a teacher, will you be what kind of open teacher you will be, and how you will accept all these challenges also there. So that can be done. Online teaching, how people are doing, that can be a project that you can ask, but you can try it out to consult your schools, and just try to see what is the status of your school now. Now, lots of technology will be there in your school, and the students might be learning there. Hypothetically, we can say that most of the teachers will be unhappy. They will say that it is bad time, it is not good time, and it is terrible, and nothing is happening. There is lots of passive learning happening there. So you will find lots of negative comments, and you can be in search of that. Are there any teachers who are looking everything as a good opportunity? आपदा को अवसर में बदलना, it is a very good quote. आपदा को अवसर में बदलना. But how many teachers who always keep on telling this to the students कि आपदा को अवसर में बदलो? How many teachers have really changed आपदा into अवसर? Or they are the mere complainers? Now, if teachers are complainers, you can say, how can you motivate us? If you yourself are a complainer, how are you going to motivate your students when they come and complain to you? And if you will motivate, it will be all fake words. It will be all fake words. You will be telling to that, be positive and do this and do that. Now, teachers are also tested, and students can test their teachers back that, well, you used to tell us something good about life. Whatever happens in life, greet the life, enjoy the life, and be a part of that life. What are those teachers doing when the time came for them to change? The time came to change in a tremendous way. Hypothetically, I can say that most of the teachers are unhappy. Most of the teachers are unhappy, hypothetically. But your observations can tell that, well, no, my observations are limited and many teachers are happy. You can give your observations to challenge the hypothesis also there. So these are very interesting things which needs to be observed. You can concentrate on language teachers. So you are with ELT gamut, and you don't go out of ELT gamut. So how language teaching happens, that you can observe here. But in case if you find other subjects also, you can take into consideration here. Okay? Okay, fine. So this, so technology is lots of there. Then you can say people are using social media or not. And now I have seen that many people are doing this idea, like they use Meet or MS Teams or other platform, and there is limitation of 100 participants in many of the, like Zoom also. And so what they do is that they make it live on YouTube or Facebook along with Zoom. So first 100 students can join the live, the others will join the YouTube. And this happens normally with higher education, in engineering or science institute, where there are more than 100 students in a class. There are A, B, C, D, 4 divisions, and all divisions are of around 100 students. So there are 400 students, for example, in FY BSc, 400. In a physical environment, you were going in all the classes. 4 times you were going and teaching. Now you teach only once, and all 400 are attending the class. All 400. So earlier you were taking 4 classes, now you take only 1 class. And then all the 400 get in, but only 100 can come on WebEx or on Zoom or on Meet. So other you do live, and then people join live. These are some of the ideas that people are doing at different level. If you can study people's teachers' habits of working with technology, we can have something very interesting also. And this is very much needed nowadays. This is very much needed here. Last time we have done about Namo Tab also. Namo Tab is given to everybody. And our students has gone to engineering college, and they have asked that how teachers are using Namo Tab, college teachers, how they are using, and results were very negative. Utterly negative results were there. Most of the teachers were not allowing tablets in the classroom, mobile phones or tablets in the classroom. They were not allowing, and no activities were given based on mobile phone or tablets. So that were very negative results were there by and large from schools and colleges about Namo Tab. Now that first generation has entered in our department also. So you can ask now to them also. We have, because these students, when they were in first year, they all were given tablet. You were not that lucky. You were not that lucky. You were in SY, and your juniors were given the tablets. If you remember this, then you will find that when you were in SY, then the first year students were given the tablet. So those students are now in our first year now, after 3 years. You can ask that a tablet જીવતા છે કે મરી ગયા છે? એ ટેબ્લેટ નો ઉપયોગ તમે કર્યો હતો કે તમારા પેરેન્ટ્સે કર્યો હતો કે તમારા ભાઈઓને આપી દેવું પડ્યું કારણ કે ભાઈ એન્જિનિયરિંગ માં હતા અને બેન તો બીએ માં હતા એટલે બેને બીએ માં તો કઈ કરવાનું ન હોય એટલે એમને મોબાઈલ થી દૂર રાખવાના હોય ભલે એમને લીધો હોય. So but not allowed to use many of those. These are hypothetical observations which we may test by asking the question to the people that were you using, or you have given it to somebody else, were you taking into the classroom, were your teachers giving any work that you have to do with the help of tablet or not, where you ask online tests to be done, any blog you were writing, what you were doing, all these things that you can ask the people. But that generation has now entered in our department also. So even if you don't want to go other places, only to those 19 students you can ask, and then you can tell them that spread this with your students, your classmates, those who may not be the department student, but they may be in the network. So you may get 10, 15, 20 more feedback also in that. So Namo Tab and the usability, you can't go today to any institute, but online you can try to see how it can be explored or how it was happening there. So using this various tools, Namo Tab to other thing by teachers in different way. Social media also can be asked as a question that are they using social media? So what is the approach of teachers towards social media? English teachers or general teachers towards social media, and how they look at, can social media be used for language teaching? For language teaching, that is the concern. So if you make a Facebook group, or a Facebook page, and you ask people to join that group, and is it possible for you to teach language component? which kind of language component can you teach. Practically, if you want to do, you can do that also, or you can ask people that have you ever tried to explore all these things or not. So that can also be the project which, if you want to, you can take there. One more thing you can do is about this assessment and evaluation. Part of assessment and evaluation in ELT, like when you teach a language component, how to test, that is very tough. So if it is fill in the blanks, it is easy. If it is match the items, it is easy. So those kinds of components now you can do in Google Form, and you can do reading comprehension can be done. But when it comes to speaking, then how can you do testing of speaking skills? That is very tough. So if you can find any tools for testing speaking skills, then it will be very good exploration on your part to look at these things there. We were also telling students one more project. The final one was about looking at the language written by the students in their tests, that is internal tests. When you this time you have to give a take-home test, but last 2 times you have given internal test. So if you want to just study your answer books, and you want to do the analysis of your language, now not the content of literature. Now that difference is very necessary. Not whether the literature content, but your language only. Then you can pick up. Pick up your answer books. You can take your answer books and you can do the study of your own writing, writing in terms of this answer book writing, not the assignments, but the answer book there. So I don't know whether you will be able to come and do this topic. Normally people are not taking also, because reading our own and doing analysis of our own language is very tough also. And you can identify different kinds of errors of sentence structures, flow of thoughts, grammatical errors, spellings, all those things can be analyzed. If you want to do, then you can do that. If you make a group of 4 or 5 students and all of you want to check your own language in your own way, then you can collect those things, and in a group also you can work and try to see that PG students, you can generalize your own answer paper, that PG students are making normally these kinds of mistakes or errors, language errors in writing the answers. That is, if you want to do, then you can do that also. Okay, so these are some of the ideas. These are very random ideas, and if you can think of picking up 1, 2, 3 ideas, and if you can work out along with your studies, obviously you don't get extra time for any other thing, but along with the studies, if you can manage things sitting in your homes, you can't travel a lot, then it will be good, because lots of things are to be known. All things are to be known from our surrounding, from reading to teaching, all these things and various language components. So surveys of the people, or preparing content, multimedia content in a proper way, that experience, first-hand experience is necessary. And this gives an opportunity if you want to pick up some of those things there. Okay, any questions from your side if you have? And any nearby idea also, if you get, you can pick up. You can inform me. You can pick up.
Sir,
yes.
I have a question about online teacher. If we are taking that project, then it is necessary to take language at the center. Like if we are doing a survey of any particular school or college, then there are no language subject. There are many more subjects. So it is necessary to language at center.
Keep language at the center and then look at the other subjects. Try to look at language also, English language at the center. So you should be more curious to know about how language teaching is happening through technology. And then you can touch upon other, because in schools, the language teachers are teaching other subjects also. The language teachers have to teach other subjects also. So you can take other subjects also if you are looking at the school. But your quest should be about what is happening with language teaching. That should be at the center. And then you can pick up other things also.
So I think it was about method. We have to see the method of teaching.
Yes. What is the method of teaching you can pick up there. But language teaching method it should be at the center, and then you can touch upon the other subjects also.
Okay, sir. And if we are doing a survey on online teaching, that how effectively the tools of online forms like use Zoom meeting, WebEx or anything, or a blog, like whatever we are doing, how they are using it, or whether they are using it or not, or how students find it effectively, that online education is for they are learning from that or not. That way,
Yes,
if we want to do
that also, yes, you can do that also. Yeah, what is happening, or how they are learning also. But more concentration you give on teaching, more concentration on that. And then you can also ask some of the learners also that what or how they feel. But see, when you study learners, now learners should have the models of learning, models. Like if they have only one model, they're only in that way, they don't know what is the another way of learning online. Then how will they compare and give the answer? How will they compare and give the answer that what is happening? If you should have another model. So if there are 5 teachers teaching in a different way, then they can say, well, this is better than this, or if they're using different way of teaching. Or you have to tell them that the online learning can happen in this way also, that way also. Now, what way your learning was happening, and how do you look at this? When we don't know, we only know one thing, then whatever we say, our observations are limited. Our observations are limited in that context also. That's why, see, remember this, any kind of defining thing is always about difference. You should always have something else to speak about something. Otherwise, you can't speak if you don't have that other. The other helps. The binary opposition helps in speaking about something. So our process of defining is actually about differentiating things. So that way you have to see. So that's why I have a doubt whether if you take online survey or you remotely ask people, students by and large, or schools, then I don't think you get a proper response. They don't understand the question properly. So you have to explain them the question, and then you have to tell, and based only on the survey feedback, you can't conclude anything. Survey forms are supported by interviews. So you have to take interviews of the people afterwards, that this, and now I want to ask you some question, why you have given this answer, what is the concept of that. That is also necessary. So if you are able to do that, it will be good. Otherwise, I have a doubt whether school children will be able to give a proper response, and your conclusion may be doubtful in that case. But you can try to see, and we can do the analysis to see that what may be the problem in the conclusion. Our conclusions may be problematic, but that we can, when you make a presentation, we can study that also.
Okay, sir. So I'm thinking to do on college students, so it will be great level.
It will be good. You can see that with the college students, how they are learning and what they are doing. The thing that you can try to see that. Yeah, but give them various models of the things so they can give responses in a proper way.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, so I hope you got the idea. Yes, anybody would like to say anything?
Sir, I was having one doubt. If we take the students who teachers who are teaching language to the students of commerce and management or science and technology, then how it can be evaluated? Like we have to prepare a survey form and should distribute to the teachers. So what is how likely they are to be fill this form, and what would be the credibility of the submission of the form? Like will the data be as much credible and proof evidence based or not?
No, it should always be followed by interview. Once you receive the response, then you ask them that I want to ask some questions based on your response. So you can tell in the advance only that after your responses are received, the researcher will ask you for 30 minutes for telephonic interview. So when you see the feedback, wherever you find a doubt or further clarification, you ask the person, and then you verify whether you have given this. Are you sure that is what you want to say? So then if the person says, yes, I believe that, and that is only then you have to tell that, well, these people in this area, in these colleges are doing this. That is what they have said. So then it becomes, in that context, credible. In that context, it becomes credible.
And sir, one more thing, like if we as a student would request the senior faculties, because in Bhavnagar district, I have observed that many government colleges have senior faculties as a teacher or as a professors of science and technology. So how likely are they to accept our request?
But it all depends upon whether you can convince them or not.
Okay.
It depends upon that. So if it is language teachers, then even I can tell, because language teachers are normally known to me, so I can talk with them and I can suggest. I can request them also to fill your form. But other teachers depends upon, we have to keep on requesting them. And normally it happens that in any form of surveys, you don't get desired result. Normally people are not that very quick in giving the responses to any of the surveys. So it is challenging task also. So that also you have to keep in mind. So you have to take a larger sample size, and you have to say that, well, if I get only 20-30%, then also it is okay. So that way you can start. If you get 50%, it is very good. If you get that response, it is good. Otherwise, normally that happens. And that's why we keep on cultivating the habit among our students that whenever anybody is asking for the feedback, give immediate feedback and very honestly and genuine feedback. Honestly and genuine. Don't write anything. That's why we do analysis. Also, that somebody has put a wrong answer there. The result are wrong. Our purpose was that because we are seeing out in the outside world that, well, people are not taking things seriously. When it comes to research, they are not interested in anybody else's research also. Teachers are not interested. Actually, they should be interested. Oh, somebody is doing research. It is very good. They said, I will help you. I will tell you my 5 friends to help you. So that way people are supposed to help each other. But we don't find that culture of research in our environment, that culture of, and we want to breed that also by telling you time and again, asking for feedback and insisting you to do it as early as possible. We hope that it might be growing in you as that culture of helping people in doing their research in their academic work also. But it will be challenging for you, but you can try still, that you can see what you, but you can present that you got only 3 response and that is there. That also can be presented. There is no need to worry about it. Let that also be documented that you asked 50 people or 10 people or 20 people and only 3 gave the response. Even if that is recorded and published as a blog, it is good enough. It is good. Somebody who will read will learn from that we should help the people in their academic work. Okay, any other questions?
Sir, then I will try to go with this idea.
Okay, you can do that, yeah. Okay, so I hope you, and nearby, any other idea if you are getting, then also you can work on that. And we can say that this is, today is 22nd December. So in the first week of February, I think, or last week of January, or first week of February, you should be ready with your report. You have to write a report also on this. So in our tomorrow's class, in our next class, I will give you some examples of report, how you can write a report. So when we will study the syllabus of ELT paper, at that time, I will give you 1 or 2 examples that in this fashion, you need to write your report. So how that after you do survey or this research or based on any of this thing, you have to write a report. Okay. And then that written report can be presented as slides also, as PowerPoint presentation, but a report should be written for your blog publication on your digital portfolio. So 1 or 2 examples we will discuss tomorrow when we discuss ELT course content, that in this way you can follow this pattern of writing your report there. Okay, or in case any questions are there after thinking little bit of it, then tomorrow also you can ask the question about what you want to do or how you can be done. So if your method is clear, whatever the result comes, it is not a matter to us. Whether you get any feedback, even if you get zero feedback, then also you can complete your project. That I got a 0, so I am not, my hypothesis are this, and the 0 report also tells something about it. 0 also tells us something about the entire thing. So that also can be concluded. We can make an interpretation of even 0 report also. Okay? So that also can be submitted if you don't get anything also. Okay, so I hope you'll start thinking about it, about which topics you can take and how you can work by the end of 26th January to 5th February. Between that time, we want to complete this work with your report writing and your presentation on this. Okay? And tomorrow's class, we will discuss the syllabus and some examples of writing a report.